Thank you very much, all of you. So, hello, I'm Tom from Tom's Guitar Show. They call me Guitar Tom because I'm often seen with a guitar. And they call me on the phone and they say, "Hey man, what's your show about anyway?" I say, "Well, it's about an hour. It's about guitar players, guitar playing, and all things guitaristic." So here's the deal. This is the, not the call-in show, this is the once a month Uptown Bill's Coffee House special. And here we are at Uptown Bill's Coffee House. And if you're watching this on Tuesday night, you can come on down to Uptown Bill's between now and 7 o'clock. If you're watching it on the Friday night rerun, it's too late. But we're going out live from Uptown Bill's Tuesday. What's it, the 28th or something? 29th. 29th already. Gosh, time is a jet plane. Moves too fast. Now, but what a shame that all we've shared can't last. That's Bob Dylan. Yeah. I'm quoting the poet. Anyway, so yeah, here we are at Uptown Bill's Coffee House. It's my show about all things guitaristic. I have a fabulous guest. I should say that this is a nice, calm July show. August is going to be a total classical guitar blowout. So basically full of classical guitarists, and possibly even a classical ukulele or two, playing classical music. Yeah. Oh, it's getting all excited over here because, so the place will be infested with classical guitarists and their groupies. I can hardly wait, but we're going to have a nice little relaxing July show. Sweet corn season's upon us. And how about tomatoes? Are tomatoes happening? Not quite yet. It's a little early then.
No local ones.
No local ones. But the corn is...
Yeah, sweet corn is.
Sweet corn is happening. So get out your dental floss. I check my YouTube stats, you know, and people watch the show in China and in Turkey. So I'm sorry I didn't wear my overalls. Maybe I'll do that for the classical guitar show. I'll wear my big overalls so they can.
Like a classical Iowan.
Yeah, I look like an Iowan. Yeah, maybe I'll, yeah.
Pitchfork.
Pitchfork? For pitchfork, I use a tuning fork. That's my joke. Because I tune with a tuning fork, but I call it a pitchfork because you get the pitch, which is A440. But the pitchfork, you see, is a American Gothic reference or whatever. And the other joke I have is we went out in the country a few years ago, Josh and I did, and I had this great big pickaxe that somebody gave me when they moved. And I was one of them. So the thing is, I'm dressed in overalls and plaid, and I take a guitar which actually has a neck that was messed up on it. It was a cheap guitar in the first place, and it was never going to play again, you know, because the neck was bent. So I took a pickaxe and smashed it with the pickaxe. You know, went right through the top. And so I just, you know, just a couple seconds of video. And so the joke is, you know, if I do an instructional video for fingerstyle guitar, I'll say, or you can use a pick. And I would cut away to the guy in the overalls smashing it with a huge pickaxe. I thought that was funny. That's it. So, what am I doing? I was going to play some music. I'm going to make a dreamy little loop out of this and see what happens. thinking about electric guitars a lot lately, and effects and so forth, and I have lots of observations. You know, I could bore people for hours with my guitar thoughts. But one thing I was thinking about this guitar I'm playing now. This is a Godin Fifth Avenue. This is actually the cheapest one of this line I make, and I was just going to try this one out in a guitar shop to see if I could recommend the fancier version of it to one of my students who wanted to play jazz guitar. They make one like this, only has a cutaway and has 2 pickups instead of 1, and you know, it's actually $200 or more expensive than this one. But I was just going to try this one out to see if they were any good, so to see if we can order one. Now, this guy actually quit. And I don't know if it has anything to do with the fact that he started digging into jazz guitar, and he got a jazz guitar real book, and then we were going through these pieces slowly but surely, and I was, you know, trying to introduce him to all the chords, you know, that he'd have to know, you know, and his brain was like overloading. This is a guy who was finishing up his residency. He's a doctor. He's finishing up his residency, but his brain was overloading on these chords, you know. And then he got an email and said he was, you know, kind of busy and had to quit. So he never bought the guitar, but I bought this one. I tried it out, and 5 minutes later, after I started playing it, I said, you know, put it on my tab. Yeah, it's called GAS, Guitar Acquisition Syndrome. And what it is that when you just have to have that sound, you know, and there's always remorse afterwards, you know, and people find this, like if you gamble away your whole household income, you know, playing blackjack or something like that, and then you realize you're going to be in trouble and stuff, they're going to shut off your electricity and the kids are going to go hungry, all that stuff, you know, you have remorse. But I have the guitar equivalent of that, except that the guy down at the pro shop, Musician's Pro Shop, he has this rent-to-own thing, and if you have even halfway decent credit or whatever, you can rent something for 3 months, and if you put down 30%, and then you know, if you don't want it to take it back and they keep the 30% or something, but or you can just pay it off in 90 days, which I did, and this was some time ago. So anyway, so I was driving here thinking about this guitar, and this is like what electric guitars were like in the 1940s. This is like the very early kind of electric guitar. Even in the 1930s, you put a pickup on an archtop guitar. And this was, you know, new, or fairly new, made in Canada, in Quebec, by Godin. And so I was thinking about this, you know, as I drove here, and I had the radio on, the KCCK, the jazz station, and they were doing a thing about Charlie Christian, who was the pioneer of electric guitar for jazz. He was like, I think he died in 1942. He was like in his mid-20s when he died. I think he had tuberculosis or something. He was one of the originators of electric jazz guitar. So this guitar he used was very much like this, and I love this guitar. The problem with it is that this one P90 pickup has a problem electric guitars always used to have, and they've worked on it quite a bit, is it hums. Let's see if I turn off this, here. I don't know if you can hear that. So it bzzz. It's taking the fluorescent lights and everything. And, but Electro-Harmonix, I'm not actually endorsing any products. Nobody gives me any money. I give them money, actually. Electro-Harmonix out of New York City company has a hum debugger, which I have employed. And it's not like a noise gate. A noise gate shuts off all the noise when you're not playing. And then when you play something, it clicks in, or it clicks off, so you can hear the note. So there's always maybe a little tiny bit of delay, and also while you're playing, you know, you're going to hear the hum in your sound. It's going to be part of your sound. The hum debugger actually debugs the hum. So it's this wild guy in New York City has a company called Electro-Harmonix. They've been around since I think the 1960s. So I have that one. I have the Holy Grail Plus reverb, which I also bought at that same guitar shop because it was there. And I had 2 other Electro-Harmonix reverbs that I've acquired over the years. Every few weeks or months I have to get something new because I just can't help myself, you know. So this gives me reverb. So this is the Holy Grail Plus. See? So I have it set up, a blend, a mount, and we're in a hall. So it's supposed to sound like a concert hall. Now if I turn it off, you know, but on it sounds like this. Right? Right? If I click it off, it sounds like. also have spring reverb. Hang on a second. Sounds like old-fashioned spring reverb. A little different. Then we have room reverb, which is a little bit smaller than Hall. This isn't turned up very loud. I mean, very hard. I mean, I can turn it up all the way. They have another one called Flurb, which is a flanger with reverb, and it's a holy grail thing. And I don't know anybody. I've not met anybody who likes it. Let's see what the people think about here. Okay, I turned it to Flurb, and I turned it up all the way.
Science fiction movie.
Yeah.
Hawaiian science fiction movie.
Yeah,
I like it.
So, back to normal. So I thought it was fun. So I'm thinking about these pedals and these different sounds. The other thing I was doing was staying up late and looking at Jimi Hendrix again, looking at videos of him, listening to his music, and then reading about him, his biography and stuff like that, and Wikipedia entry and everything. And apparently when he was a kid, before he was born, his father was drafted. This is 1942. And his father was drafted in the Army, and he went to some camp somewhere and to be in the Army, and his son was on the way, and they thought he would desert to go see his son when he was born, so they put him in the brig. Is that what they call it, the brig? Yeah. That's Navy. What do you call it in the Army?
Stockade.
Stockade, yeah, stockade. All right, I'm sorry, I knew that. They put him in the slammer so he wouldn't escape to go see his son. So anyway, he was born, and his mother quickly resumed her party lifestyle and kind of abandoned him to other relatives and so forth, and she drank quite a bit. I guess she was an alcoholic. And the father probably drank a lot too, but he was gone for 3 years in the Army. And he came back in 1945. They couldn't find his wife. They could find his son staying with an aunt or something like that. And they eventually, parents got back together, but they fought a lot. But they divorced, and then his mother died when she was still in her 30s of cirrhosis of the liver. So this he's a sensitive child, Jimmy was, and in school in Seattle where he grew up, he would walk around holding a broom, pretending it was a guitar. And the social worker for the school, this is in the old days, said, "You should get this kid a guitar." And his father wouldn't do it. But then Jimmy was helping his dad clear out some person's apartment who had passed away or whatever, as a job, and then there was a ukulele with only one string left on it. And so Jimmy got a ukulele with one string and started playing that. And eventually his father relented and bought him a guitar, acoustic guitar, and he practiced constantly. Now, personally, I mean, I'm no Jimi Hendrix, but I have this sort of thing where I have a mild case of what other people have, I mean, I have a pretty serious guitar Jones, but not as...
Not gonna set one on fire tonight.
Not gonna set one on fire, no, but well, I know Jimi Hendrix, but I think that's a guy who's like, he really was a guitar player. I mean, when I was a kid, I used to string rubber bands because my parents wouldn't get me a guitar. Since I wanted one since I was 4, but until I was 11, I got my first guitar. But I played my friend's guitar, and I played my sister's mandolin, and I played the violin badly. But I'd string like rubber bands between these little knobs on the drawers in the kitchen. And go ding, 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 pluck them, And so I understand what Jimmy was going through. As I say, he's ahead of me somewhat. But anyway. Well, I want to play something else and see if anybody has anything to contribute. Do you have something to contribute? Yeah. Well, I hope so.
If I'd known the crowd was gonna be this small, I brought more of it.
Thank you. It was a guitar duet accompanied by the condenser, the compressor for the. You want to go to Uptown Bill's Coffee House right now? You can come on down and see the show. You can have a refreshing drink from the very evident refrigerator. And so, Bob, we wonder if you could come up here and share some of your wisdom with us, or whatever else you might have.
It's something else.
Yeah, make sure you talk right in that microphone so we can all hear you real well there.
All right. Now, this is something you may be familiar with. Woman wasn't feeling well, so she went to her doctor. He ran the tests he could. When he got the results back, he sent her over here to University Hospital and had another battery of tests run. When the results from those came back, he called her in and says, "What you have is terminal and incurable, and you have no more than 6 months to live." She said, "Well, what can I do?" He said, "Rush out, find the first single fingerstyle guitar player you can, and marry him immediately." She said, "How will that improve my condition?" "It will make 6 months seem like eternity."
That's a variation on the mother-in-law joke I told earlier, and that's a wonderful.
Okay. The way to make a banjo player's car more aerodynamic,
Oh, you
take the pizza sign off the
roof. That's actually a trombone. That's a variation on a trombone player joke, which is a. What's the difference between what's the difference between a trombone player and a sax player?
What's that?
Sax player has a job.
Oh.
How do you know it's a singer at the door?
How?
He doesn't know when to come in.
That's right. That's right.
What did the Deadhead say when he ran out of pot?
What?
"Man, this music sucks." How many Deadheads does it take to change a light bulb?
I don't know.
They never change it. They just follow it around for another 30 years after it burns out. That's all I have tonight.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah. There are a lot of jokes. I mean, the trombone player jokes, are usually, like, because it's really hard to get a job, because they're not that big. There's not that much call for trombone players. I mean, sax players can work. Guitar players can get jobs, but there are a lot of them around, And the difference between like a guitar player and a U.S. savings bond is a savings bond matures and earns money, for instance, So guitar player jokes are usually that you're immature and broke. So 3 guys die and they go to the pearly gates. They're asked by Saint Pierre, "How did you leave your families?" And the first guy says, "Well, I was debt free and I had real estate investments, so they'll have a pretty good, a pretty good portfolio. They should be well provided for." And the next guy said, "Well, I had a good life insurance policy and their mortgage is mostly paid off, and there's a lot of money in the college fund." And the third guy gets up and he says, "Well, my fourth wife and I were separated, and I fell behind on my child support payments. And, I think I should have gotten a lot farther along, than I did." And St. Peter says, "Yeah, what kind of amp do you have?" So. Actually, my plan was, while you were sharing these pearls of wisdom, was not to get involved, but actually to switch over to this red guitar, which I think I'll do. But give me a moment here. See if I know any jokes. Does anybody know any good jokes? Bearing in mind this is a family program. Of course, I tell the same jokes over and over again, but if you're not into repetition, you can't be a musician. 2 guys walking down the street, one of them was a guitar player, the other one, he didn't have any money either. And, I've told that one before. I know I've told that one before. Sorry, just talking to the microphone. So this guitar here is a. Well, what can I say? This is another. This string seems to be in tune. Huh. This is an SG No, I mean ES335, excuse me. Wannabe. The high action.
Have we seen this one before?
I've had this one on the show before, yeah. I think I bought it. It was in the winter. It was cold weather, and I was. What happens if I turn the humdinger bugger off? Let's see. Nothing. It's fine, because this one has humbuckers, 2 double coil pickups facing each other. So 2 pickups, in one, double coils. Facing each other. It cancels the hum. So this is an Epiphone. An Epiphone, of course, is the import line for Gibson. And the ES335 is a Gibson, and they have ES other ones. B.B. King plays an ES335.
That was one of the original electric guitars?
Nah, it's, no, it's, I think it's from the 50s, so I think it's later 50s maybe. Actually, I don't know my history of it. I will say that when I was looking at this, at these YouTube videos, I saw Eric Clapton and Jimi Hendrix at different times playing ES335s, and I also saw them playing Stratocasters. The reason I was so late getting here was I was dithering. I was going to bring one of my Stratocasters, and then I didn't like. I didn't like what was going on with it. I mean, it was buzzing a little bit, and I had the other one, but I brought the other one a lot. I love the other one, the blue one, but I've had to play that one a lot. The other one, the natural wooden color one, which is a Mexican one, requires adjustment. So I've been thinking about 335s a lot too, and. So this one is actually pretty nice. Pretty cheap. I was called upon to be a judge in a guitar playing. What was it? It was a festival. It was a contest. They needed somebody who knew something about guitar, especially classical guitar. So I took the job, and they gave me a check. I had a little extra time left over, so I was at Kirkwood Community College in Cedar Rapids, and I'm most of the way to the Guitar Center, within you can see the border with Marion there, but still, I mean. It's on the other side of the metropolis of Cedar Rapids, but so I was going to look at this guitar that they had that I couldn't afford, because they don't let you pay it off over 90 days there like they do at the Musician's Pro Shop. Well, they sold the one that I wanted to look at. Have some money, and this was more affordable. So I bought it without a case, wrapped it up in a blanket in my car. Played it like crazy for about 2 weeks. Hung it on the wall. Moved on in my life. You think they miss me when I don't play them for a while? Well, yeah. For the, oh, for my
Your personal appearance.
personal, well, I just want to tell everybody I'll be at the Tuscan Moon this weekend, Friday and Saturday night at beautiful town down Kelowna. Supposed to start at 6, I'll be there about 6:30. Supposed to play it till 9, I'll be there play till 10. Friday, Saturday, downtown Kelowna, about 20 miles south of Iowa City. Amish country down there. Be at Journey Church on Sunday in Coralville, about 10:30. I'm supposed to start at 10, but I get there about 10:15, but things don't start till 10:30 or later, so I'll be there. So I guess I'm only doing 3 gigs this week, as far as I remember. So I think it's ukulele time, isn't it? By now, it must be. Got a ukulele player coming up here, and I don't think she needs any help from me. I think you're pretty much self-contained, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay. You're going to try out the little Washburn amp? I did get a little amplifier used really cheap at West Music. I was there for a repair issue. They treated me right. So. Yeah. There we go.
I have to get settled just right.
Okay, yeah, I get the feng shui of the whole thing. So you can sing in that microphone and see the music at the same time.
All right, I have 2 songs I'm going to play. Old Dan Tucker is one of them. They're just fun uke songs, not very serious. Unless you're Dan Tucker, I guess. Old Dan Tucker's a fine old man, washed his face in a frying pan, combed his head with a wagon wheel, died with a toothache in his heel. Get out of the way, old Dan Tucker, you're too late to get your supper. Summer's gone and dinner's cooking, old Dan Tucker's just standing there looking. Old Dan Tucker, you come to town, riding on a billy goat, leading a hound. Hound dog bark and the billy goat jump, thrown Dan Tucker on top of a stump. Get out of the way, old Dan Tucker, you're too late to get your supper. Supper's gone and dinner's cooking, and old Dan Tucker's just standing there looking. Old Dan Tucker, he got drunk, fell in the fire and he kicked up a chunk. Red hot coal got in his shoe, oh my lordy, how the ashes flew. Get out of the way, old Dan Tucker, you're too late to get your supper. Supper's gone and dinner's cooking, old Dan Tucker's just standing there looking. Old Dan Tucker, he come to town, swinging the ladies round and round. First to the right and then to the left, then to the gal he loved the best. Get out of the way, old Dan Tucker, you're too late to get your supper. Supper's gone, dinner's cooking, and old Dan Tucker's just standing there looking. Get out of the way, old Dan Tucker, you're too late to get your supper. Supper's gone, dinner's cooking, and old Dan Tucker's just standing there looking. They're just fun songs. And this other song's called Cindy, and of course, he pines for her. You ought to see my Cindy, she lives away down south. She's so sweet, the honeybees swarm around her mouth. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home, Cindy, Cindy, marry you someday. Wish I were an apple hanging on the tree. Every time that Cindy passed, she'd take a bite of me. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home, Cindy, Cindy, marry you someday. Cindy in the springtime, Cindy in the fall. If I can't have my Cindy, have no gal at all. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home, Cindy, Cindy, marry you someday. Wish I had a needle as fine as I so. I saw that guy out to my coattails, and to the road we'd go. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home, Cindy, Cindy, bury you someday.
Yeah, very good. I keep wondering what a banjolele would sound like with those songs, you know, but
Good.
I like the banjolele. It's best of both worlds. You got the banjo and the ukulele. Mr. Skobinski, did you have something for us this week?
I was supposed to. I'll have to run for a second.
Supposed to have something he says, but
I figured I should apologize on camera. I was
Oh.
going to bring something about Charlie Hayden, the jazz bass player. What held me up, I found some YouTube videos where he's playing with a guitar player, and I can't remember his name. I had written it down, written some information down, and left it at work.
oh, okay.
And so I didn't think I could do justice to the topic tonight, so we'll do it on a future show.
Okay.
But you would probably recognize the jazz guitarist's name, and I don't even want to take somehow I'm thinking M is the first letter of the last name, but Methelman or something. Anyway,
Pat Metheny or
that could be it.
Pat Metheny?
Yeah, Pat. Yeah.
oh yeah,
Okay.
Pat Metheny. All right.
So yeah, I found some duets, him and Charlie Hayden, and
Yeah.
they're quite impressive. So I'd rather do justice, and we'll wait for a future program.
Well, wait. There's also educational things that we're hoping for. You can
Yes.
explain some other things to us. I really
We're up to 3 topics: the A, B flat, and C clarinets, and the ut, re, mi, do, re, mi.
Do re mi, yeah, that they right, because I read this article saying that the ancient Romans had the do re mi thing. They used a different name, some different words, but they were similar for their scale. So it's actually possible to sing the way this was supposed to use these tones when you recited the poetry, which means you sing singer-songwriters from ancient Rome. So
Yeah, so we'll delve into those, and you know, I have a great carrying capacity if I am belated on some things. So I mean, once these are in my head to do, they'll get done at some point. So
Okay.
the point is to keep tuning into Tom's Guitar Show, and
that's right.
all will be.
These are cliffhangers because there's stuff that there are
Cliffhangers,
things
yeah.
that must be known. There are things we must learn, and
Exactly.
so it's important.
No, and that's why I like coming on the show, because you know, you keep me focused in that direction, because we're always generating topics, and then I go look them up, and or you look them up, and we learn, and it's cool. So.
Yeah, well, thank you. I think it's important, and also as another shameless plug is if you go to allthingsguitartom.com, my website, you go to the Twitter. I put a link to a video about music in the brain because this is one of my favorite topics. The neuroscience, and I'm not a scientist at all or anything like that, but I am literate enough to the point where I can read articles. And this is a little like 5-minute animated thing about see like you know that if you scan people's brains. When they listen to music, you see these little fireworks go off, but you get this, musicians, when you play music, you get the big show. A lot of electrons are going through your brain. It really lights up your brain, and having a musical mind is like this thing. So I have this odd compulsion to want to be a music teacher, to try to encourage people to learn how to make their own music. And I don't know why I want to do this. You think I do it for the fame and the money, but very little of that has actually occurred. So I just find myself wanting to you know, be compelled to be a music instructor, and of course there are many other people like me who do the same thing. But it sort of gives relevance to this thing about the music in the brain. So I mean, the whole instructional thing I think is actually quite important. I think it improves the human mind. Laura, my wife was she watched this video, and she didn't think it's easy more of an executive brain. Not to say that you'd be an executive, but you have this like different cognition stuff, and she said she doubted that, looking at me, you know. So I said, well, think what I'd be like if I didn't, you know, play music, you know. Anyway, but okay, well, we'll.
So yeah, well, to be continued, and just 2 other things. Number one, I wanted to ask how this past Saturday went downtown, and then I'm wondering if Young Tom has.
Yeah, I was hoping to get Young Tom up here. You have some discussion with us too. Saturday, that was a week before, actually. I think it was. I went. Yeah, last week I was doing a wedding in near Marengo, out in the country, in a tent, and then I went and did the Tuscan Moon. But the Saturday before, I did an downtown concert, and that was kind of fun. It's on. We're going to play it here instead of Tom's Guitar Show sometime, because I'm going to take a Tuesday off sometime in August. Is the plan. In fact, make that plan pretty quick. But it's been edited, and its video has been made of it. But I went downtown and I played like a maniac, and I only seen a little bit of it, but it was pretty cool. I mean, except that, you know, I kind of wish I was better looking or something. I mean, for TV, but, you know, really not much I can do about that anymore. Well, I could have shaved, I suppose, but I mean, I shaved on that Saturday, though. Anyway, never mind. Young Tom, come on up, if you would. You might have to jack that hammer.
I can do that.
Yeah, you do it now. It's your mic stand.
Yeah.
It's a company mic stand, isn't it?
Yes. Hey, welcome again to Uptown Bills. It's always nice
Thank you.
to have you here.
Haven't been
And you're
thrown out
back.
yet. Yeah.
You're back
Where
again.
is Uptown Bills?
730 South Dubuque Street. It's between the two sets of railroad tracks just south of Burlington Street. And when we're lucky, there are trains running on both tracks.
Yeah.
It's happened once during the show since it came here. But it happens about once every 2 weeks.
And then you're stuck, aren't you?
Well, then we call for a train song.
Up and down the line, or riding on the city of New Orleans. Okay, let's go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's also just in front of Ralston Creek. And Ralston Creek is the name for the Labor Day weekend festival that we're planning. And I hope you're coming.
Well, I'll
Are
be.
you part of this?
Yeah, I will be here in different. PATV is having an open house
Yes,
on that day.
yes.
And we will be involved in this in a big way. So we're all going to work together on this. I think, you know, and we're going to have like
Hope so.
refreshments and music. We might have some music in our parking lot, actually.
Ooh.
If the Tribbles would like to play, I don't know, that would be involve Donna, among others.
Yeah,
Uh,
you have to talk to them yet, I guess.
Yeah,
You can't commit them without asking them.
yeah, we'll have to ask them, but
Okay.
it'll be music and stuff, and, you know, and we'll probably show our TV show Moon 03
Ooh.
as part of it.
Ooh.
That'll be a screening of our science fiction show that we've made here, or they've made. I didn't do much, but yeah.
So, to be clear, it's Saturday,
Yeah.
August 30th.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna have it also on Sunday, August 31st. It's gotten too big for one day.
Oh, boy.
And also by including Saturday, we can include some of the other neighborhood businesses. And then it's also easier for you to take part because Saturday's a day you're normally around, not you particularly, but PATV in
PATV's
general.
around,
So,
yeah.
so Uptown Bills, PATV, and some of the other neighbors are all going together, and there'll be plenty of parking because the university parking lot will be available to us
Oh,
for
boy.
both days.
All right.
And
That's
we hope
good.
to have some art and some music and other things going on. And we're going to take over the parking lot of the little building next door where the lawyer is. We're going to have some vendors
We have a
there.
lawyer next door?
Yes, right over here next door. And we're going to have some art and crafts and things like that. And then also on this side, we'll have some art and crafts. And inside, we have music all day. Saturday, we have music from 10 a.m. until dark.
Wow. What time does it get
So-
dark then, I wonder?
Well, about 8:30.
8:30, really? Okay.
Yeah, but we'll still be playing even after dark.
Okay. Well, that's,
And then on Sunday, from 10 a.m. till about 5 p.m., we'll have music. And it should be great fun. And we'll probably have a cake or two as well. As we often do for these big events, we have a different band and a different cake every hour.
wow. If I didn't know you was coming, I would have baked a cake for you. Yeah.
Interesting, the first band on Saturday morning, August 30th, is Pennies on the Rail, but only half of them agreed to come. There's a quartet, only 2 of them are coming, so they've changed their name. Now remember, it's Pennies on the Rail, and their name for that morning will be Short Change.
Ah,
2 cents on the rail.
hey,
We
penny.
tried, hey Penny, we tried a variety of things, but they decided.
Farthing. I know. That's British
Short
currency.
change.
They don't even have that anymore, I don't think. So.
No. But anyway, so we have a lot of different people, and there's still room for you and the Tribbles if you decide you want to play indoors.
Or maybe Donna would like to have a set.
Sure.
Let's see. Okay.
Uke, yes. You know, and I don't know if we're going to have the ukulele group or not that day, but there is actually a ukulele social club that meets here once a month.
I want to say that you can never have enough ukuleles, but maybe that's not true. I don't know.
We've had as many as 22 of them
That's
right
probably
in
enough.
front of us on the stage here. And so we might have them also. But it should be great fun. Two terrific days. Saturday, August 30th,
Mhm.
and Sunday, August 31st. Uptown Bills and PATB. It's the place to be on that weekend.
Okay, well,
Come
we're
and
all
join
gonna
in.
have a party then, yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll coordinate our efforts from downstairs and upstairs. It's upstairs, downstairs, because as you may not know in the viewing audience, Uptown Bills is above us, and we at PATV are beneath us. But now I feel like an Uptown Bills person because I'm on the stage here. You see, so.
We had a musician here the other night, speaking of that, who said, was playing, they were touring, they're from Portland, Oregon, and he started, we call them thumpers when they stomp on the stage, and he said, oh, I forgot PATV's downstairs, because we told a few stories. about,
Yeah, well, we had some interesting people who really like to stomp on the stage.
yeah, we get some thumpers up here, so it's, but we try to get them to cool their jets on certain nights when we know things are going on.
Mhm. Yeah.
So although, you know, we can listen to your show on the days when you're downstairs.
Yeah.
In the other room, we set up chairs and just sit there, and it's like you're right there.
Oh, really? Well, that's nice.
Yeah, we
Oh,
can't
okay.
see you, but you're there.
Sometimes I do some experimental stuff. I try to play well for the show, but who knows what can.
And we sing along.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mhm, mhm.
That's good. It's nice to know. I've never been upstairs while I was downstairs playing though, so I wouldn't know.
Well, perhaps sometime you can work that out.
How can you be in two places at one time when you're not anywhere at all? I think it's Firesign Theater,
Isn't that bilocation, that's called?
by location. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not perfected yet. But it's like matter transfer, it's in that same category.
It's like Beam Me Up, Scotty, or
Yeah, very similar. But
Oh,
I will take my leave at this point.
yeah.
Say thank you very much, and look forward to spending Saturday, August 30th and Sunday, August 31st with you and all of the viewing audience. We hope they'll be here. I bet you there'll be some live broadcasting that day. It's pretty likely.
I'm sure there will be. There'll be all kinds of wonderful things. We got to make a plan. That's
Yeah.
important. We're going to make big plans.
Okay, we'll have lots of treats and cake and
Okay,
all the usual stuff too here at the coffee house. And who knows, maybe a special sale. We'll invite the people over from the vintage shop to bring some antiques. Perhaps an auction. We're talking about a silent auction. Shh. Silent
Don't
auction.
anybody say anything.
All right.
Okay,
night.
well, I'll
Thank
be
you.
here at some point. all next week on Tom's Guitar Show. Bye. Or you'll see me, I guess. I won't be. Maybe you'll see you because I'll be on the wrong side of the TV. No, that's all right.